For some business news, the federal government will today conduct its regular monthly bond auction with a target to raise 225 billion naira to further bridge its budget deficit. The Debt Management Office, which oversees government bonds issuances and general debt management, would be raising a true reopening of 3 previously issued mid to long-term bonds. The bond being reopened includes a 14.55% 10-year bond, which matures in April 2029, a 12.5% 10-year bond, which matures in April 2032, and long-term 16.25% 20-year bond with maturity date of January 2037. Government plans to raise 75 billion naira each from the 3 bonds, totaling 225 billion naira to finance budget deficit as well as poor infrastructure and increase insecurity continues to threaten government revenue. Meanwhile, the Central Bank of Nigeria reiterates its commitment to the seamless implementation of the NAIRA redesign project. To achieve this, its fundamental objectives, now the Apex Bank also pledges to ensure that vulnerable citizens are not disenfranchised and to shield them from any negative impact that may arise from the execution of the project. It is also collaborating with relevant agencies and other stakeholders in the financial system and the execution of the redesign policy. The CBN explained that the banking public in the rural or underserved areas may access CBN branches in the 36 states of the Federation to inquire about options for depositing their current 200, 500 and 1,000 naira notes, wallets, accounts, opening processes, financial access points, among others. It stated that due to the policy that the agents have also been accorded priority as to enable them to deposit cash collection through bank branches across the Federation. Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, the governor of Lagos State, presents the scorecard of his administration efforts towards showcasing the business-friendly environment and investment opportunities available in the state. Well, he did this at the closing ceremony of the 36th edition of the Lagos International Trade Fair, LRTIF. Governor Sanwo-Olu was represented by Mrs. Folashade Jaji, who's the secretary to the state government, explained that the business-friendly environment is to improve the ease of doing business initiatives, increase incentives, and unrelenting commitment to infrastructure development and, of course, urban renewal. He also said construction works were ongoing in all parts of the state with the goal of creating a conducive environment for businesses living leisure and facilitate the intra-city and intra-state exchange of goods and services.
I strongly believe that business owners and investors have taken due notice of the essence of the theme of this year's fair, connecting businesses, creating value. It is a wake-up call for every entrepreneur because it is a potent strategy to grow a business and overcome the challenges prevailing in every business environment globally. The celebration of the Lagos State Day is another opportunity for us to showcase investments and the modest strides we have achieved in our quest to improve our status as the most preferred destination for investment in Nigeria and Africa.
It is our hope also that governments at all levels will continue to address the issues of enabling environment in the country, especially as regards infrastructures, insecurity, and right policies to fix the key drivers of high inflation. We also need to do this in order to fully harness the huge enterprising resources of domestic and foreign investors for diversifying our economy and the welfare of our good people of Nigeria.
Well, outside our shows, shares market continued with last week's rally in a more modest fashion today after a top U.S. central banker warned investors against getting carried away over inflation numbers. Whilst Chinese stock gained an aid for the country's property sector. Future stocks were wagering heavily on a half-point rate rise to 4.25 to 4.5% now in December. And then a couple of quarter points moved to peak in the 4.75%. That 4.75 to 5% range. The benchmark European stock index rose 0.37%. The MSCI's broadest index of Asian Pacific shares outside Japan added 0.73% after jumping 7.7% last week. U.S. markets look set to open lower with S&P E-mini futures down 0.26%. China's real estate index jumped 3.5% in response. Blue chip rose 1%, helped by a slew of changes to China's COVID curbs, even as the country reported more cases over the weekend. Visa Incorporated, the world's largest payment processor, has severed its global credit card agreements with collapsed crypto exchange FTX. According to Visa spokesperson, global agreements have been terminated with FTX and their U.S. debit card. The program is being worn down by their issuers. The situation with FTX is unfortunate, and we're monitoring developments closely. FTX and Visa announced an expanded partnership in early October, including plans to introduce account-linked Visa debit cards in 40 new countries. Well, crude oil prices pared earlier gains and fell today, dragged down by a firmer U.S. dollar and record high coronavirus cases in major Chinese cities that dashed hopes of a reopening of the economy of the world's biggest crude importer. Now, U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude slid to sell at $88.83 per barrel, with a downward price review of 0.15%. Brent crude futures also experienced a price decline of 0.05% to sell at $95.94 per barrel. Bonny Light rose to sell at $96.15 per barrel, experiencing an upward price review of 2.47%. And for the OPEC basket, crude oil dealers are offering $91.32 with a price decline of 2.04%.